Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a recent purchases update video. I haven't done one of these in a little while, so I thought I would update you on some of my recent purchases. As usual, this video is going to be split into two parts. So the first section is going to be all my hits, so those items that have been really working for me, and the second part are going to be my misses, featuring those purchases which didn't work out quite so well. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get started. Before we get stuck into the video though, I wanted to let you guys know about a new luxury sale that has just gone live. It's live only for 3 days, I believe, and it's at My Teresa. It's their tiered discount code sale. They only do this, I think, twice a year, and it's always one of the best ones to shop. A ton is included. I have a whole blog post with all of my picks if you did want some inspiration, so I will link that down below in the description section. But I will also leave a lot of the discount codes. They do vary from country to country with different currencies, so it's 100 off a 600 spend and then 200 off a 1200 spend, but again that varies according to what currency. So I'll list all of the popular countries and their discount codes in the description section, but if your country isn't listed there, then I will have a full list on my blog as well. So first up is my Fendi Peekaboo, and this style isn't really a new one to me. I did already own it in the magenta color, which I ended up selling to get the black one. I dithered about it for so long because I got the magenta one for a really good price, and the black one I knew I'd have to pay full price. I did get it at Heathrow, so I did get a bit of a discount, but I know that these don't necessarily hold their value that well, so it was a purchase that I debated about for a really long time. I decided to go for it, and I've been really happy with it. It's just such a beautiful bag. I mainly use this for work because I do think it is quite a formal looking bag, but it's done really, really well. It's actually held up very well as well, because I was a bit worried with the increased usage of it being more of a neutral color for me that the leather wouldn't do that well, but that really hasn't been the case at all. Like, I think it still looks good as new, and it's certainly not been a kind of beat around bag or anything. I have been taking care of it, but I've been really happy with the wear and tear. And I think that the construction is just so lovely. Even if you look at the bottom, the fact they've put in an extra rivet right in the center just to protect the base, so you know if it sags you don't get wear on the bottom. I just think it's very nice. The attention to detail is so lovely. I love the hardware as well, so it's just matte black on the front, then you have the gold hardware on the interior as well. It's so beautiful. You do have the compartments, so it's just kind of plain on this side, and then on the other side you do have a pocket as well. So nice and handy if you do like organization, but that does also mean that you can't fit a ton in here. So this isn't one for me, you know, if I am carrying around a laptop and files and things like that, like you can't fit that much in. But if you want a very pulled together bag, if you just have a meeting or two and you want to look really good for it, I feel like this bag is absolutely it. It just makes any outfit look so much better, and I'm just such a huge fan. I have worn this once or twice just with kind of jeans and a blazer, but usually this is a bag that I go for if I'm a bit more dressed up. I love this, and I'm very happy with the decision to get the black one. Next up is my Mulberry zipped Bayswater, and I did do a fairly in-depth review on this in my work bag review video, but I wanted to do another update on it just because I've been loving it so much, and it's really been a very constant go-to favorite for me ever since I got it. And obviously I liked it enough to get it, but it's just been surprising to me how much I've been drawn to it and how much I continue to want to use it. It is a lighter color, so it is, you know, a bit of a contrast to my Fendi Peekaboo and even my Givenchy Antigona. So this is generally what I reach for when I do want something a little bit lighter in color, but I love it. It's very functional. It's very comfortable to wear. I do find myself reaching for this even on days where I want to dress down a little bit, because I do think it actually transitions very nicely. I love the functionality as well. You know, you do have the zipper, so it is a little bit more secure. It actually can fit a ton. The interior is beautiful. It's fairly light considering, you know, it is a proper leather top handle, and you do have the strap as well to put it on your shoulder if you want to, and it's just a very nice size. It's not quite big enough to carry a laptop, but it's plenty roomy enough to carry everything else that you'd want to without being overly heavy as well. So I love this. If you've been on the fence about getting one, I would absolutely recommend it. And I think for the price as well, it's actually very good value compared to some of the other options on the market. So very much been enjoying this. I think it's a stunning bag and a really nice update to the classic Bayswater design. Next up is a bracelet, and this is the only kind of non-bag pick that I'm including in this video, but I wanted to feature it because I still get a ton of messages about this bracelet, like so many questions, so I thought I would do a little update as to how I'm getting along with it. And I love it to bits. And I think I have mentioned this in videos, you know, how much I've been enjoying it. I was wearing it just a second ago and I literally wear this every single day. And what I love about it is how easy it is to get on and off. You know, it is a snap closure, so you literally just kind of pop it on like that and then you take it off the same way as well. So it's literally a second to get it on and off. I love that I don't have to faff about, you know, it's not a tricky one with a clasp or anything like that. So very easy. I don't wear this when I'm showering or when I'm sleeping or anything like that. I put it on when I put on my rings. I don't wear these, you know, also in the shower. I don't wear it going to sleep. So when I put the rest of my jewelry on is when I put this on, but that happens every single day. So I do wear this every day. The wear and tear has been fantastic. And I did get some questions about scratches and things like that, but I can't see any scratches. Like, I can't see anything wrong with it at all. It looks to me exactly the same as when I first got it. So it's done incredibly well. I think I'm coming up to, is it a year? I think it's been almost a year, so maybe like 11 months, and that's with me wearing it every single day. I love it. You know, I like my jewelry to be quite simple anyway. I don't wear a ton of it, but the jewelry that I have, I wear pretty much every day. And this has just been such a wonderful addition to my still very small jewelry collection, but I love it to bits. So yeah, again, this is another one. If you're thinking about getting it, I would 100% recommend it. This is one of my favorite purchases, I'd say, over the past 2 years in terms of everything as well. Like, I love this to bits and I just wouldn't be without it now. So absolutely love this, such a great buy. Next up is my Chanel Reissue wallet on a chain, which has been such a favorite for me, and to be honest, it's not vastly different from the other wallet on chains I own. You know, the function is still exactly the same, and the interior on this is the same as the regular Chanel wallet on a chain. So, you know, you just have that empty space in the middle, you do have a pocket there, you have card slots, a zipper pocket, and then an extra pocket there, as well as the one on the flap as well. So it's not different at all. The only difference is the fact this one does have a turn lock, so you do have that proper lock, which is very nice. But I would say, because I'm so used to the other wallet on chain styles, I have been kind of pulling at this expecting it to open up, and then I realize with horror that it's a turn lock and I need to stop pulling on my bag. So that is one thing. It does take some getting used to if you are used to the other style, but apart from that, I've really been liking it. As I mentioned, it's not vastly different from the other wallet on chains I own. You know, the function is the same. I love the combination though. I think that the brushed gold hardware is so, so pretty. I did get some questions about the wrinkling on the leather. It is supposed to look like that, you know, it is that distressed leather, which I wasn't sure about in terms of a larger flap because I was worried about the structure, but because the wallet on a chain is a more structured bag and it is smaller, so I guess there's just less to go wrong, it doesn't seem to matter as much, and I actually really like the texture as well. So I've really been enjoying this. I think the combination is beautiful and I think it's just such a stunning bag. So if you're looking at the Chanel Reissue wallet on chain, I do really like it. It is quite a bit more expensive than the regular wallet on chain. I'm not fully sure, you know, it's going to be worth it if you already had one that you were happy with. If there was a combination like me that you really fell in love with, then I still think it's a nice option, but I wouldn't say that the turn lock is some dazzling feature, you know, it's just a slightly different way of opening the bag. So it just depends how much you like the combination you're looking at, but I've really been liking mine and I'm very happy I got it. Next up is my Prada Basket / bucket bag. It's kind of a hybrid, and this one is a bit more of a mixed review. It's still absolutely in my hits category because I do still really, really love it, but I haven't been using it quite as much as I thought I would, and that's due to something which I hadn't considered before buying it, which was that the kind of outfits I pair this with, like summer dresses and summer skirts, when I usually wear those outfits, I will usually tend to gravitate more towards a smaller bag, whether that's a wallet on a chain or a smaller crossbody or even like a small flat bag. And I don't generally tend to go for a top handle when I am wearing those outfits. So that isn't something that occurred to me when I got this, and it has limited my usage, but I have been trying to force myself to get a lot of use out of it because it wasn't a cheap bag. So I still very much want to get as much use out of it as I can, but it is something that I've kind of had to force myself to not grab a smaller bag and to go for something a little bit larger. That said, when I have been using it though, I have been really enjoying it. The weave kind of version is a little bit less sturdy than the leather version though, and especially when I compare it to the mini bucket bag that I got, there's a big difference in terms of the sturdiness. And when I fill it with items, sometimes if something's kind of prodding out, you can see that the weave element does get a bit distorted. So I'm very conscious of what I put inside, but usually this isn't really a work bag or anything like that, so I tend not to overfill it with items. You do have the rivets on the bottom, which I really like, especially because it's white, so it can get dirty, and I have been quite conscious not to take this anywhere where I think it might get quite dirty, so it's done pretty well considering it is a very light coloured bag. The one thing I'd also say though, in terms of the fastening and security, it does have a magnetic closure, but it's not that easy to close when you're out and about, because you kind of have to match them together and then go like that and then it closes. But it's not that easy when it's filled with items, when you're out and about, when you may not have, you know, both hands free. It's just a less easy clasp. And again, this is something that's fixed with the smaller size, and that is something that I wanted to check. I don't tend to close it, so I just tend to kind of leave it open like so, but it's going to depend on how comfortable you are with the security of that. So definitely something to keep in mind, but I would say that those are my only little niggles with it. I think it looks beautiful. Whenever I take it out, I almost always get a compliment on it. I think it's a very striking, beautiful bag. I think that even though it is, you know, kind of trendy in terms of the basket bag trend, I still think it does look quite classic as well. So I've really been liking this. It does help that it's a very neutral colorway. So even though it is a bit on the larger side for a casual summer bag, it is still very pairable with so many different outfits. So far, so good with those few minor annoyances, but still overall happy that I got it. I still think it's so, so lovely, and yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful summer bag. And speaking of summer bags, I did also want to talk about my Chanel Deville tote. I got some questions on my work tote video as to why I didn't include this, and the simple reason is I don't really consider this to be a work tote. You know, it's not super sturdy for everyday use, and I just even think kind of the look of it, you know, with the Chanel logo, it's just not something that I personally would use as a work tote, which is why I didn't include it. You know, there's nothing functionally wrong with the bag. It was just that I don't think of it in that way. For me, this is much more of a casual summer bag, so I have been enjoying it as that. I actually took this when I went to Portugal for my friend's wedding. I was a bit nervous about doing so because usually I take something a little bit more robust, I guess, when traveling, but it actually did very, very well, and no wear and tear, which is surprising even to me because, you know, I've been taking care of it, but I've not been super, super conscious of babying it. So considering, I can't really see any marks. I mean, it is a little bit dirty on the inside, but I just think it needs a wipe down. And I can't see any marks or anything disastrous at all. So I've been really happy with the wear and tear. It definitely was something I was a bit nervous about when I first got it, but it's done it really well. It's very, very comfortable to wear. The leather straps are insanely comfortable, especially considering that they aren't the thickest. It's very light as well because there's not much leather in the body, obviously. The weave has done very well, so no pulling or anything like that. And I think this is great. So I love this. This is the smaller version, so you can get a larger version as well, which has the top handle. I love my shoulder bag, so this is perfect for me, and this is plenty roomy. Like, it fits an absolute ton. So if you wanted to use it as a work bag, you could, because it easily fits in a laptop and papers. You know, I took this on the plane with me and it was absolutely fine, and so far so good. You do have the button closure as well, which is very easy to close and open, which I like. I think it's just a great bag. So yeah, overall I've been very, very happy with this, and it's not a bag I use every single day, but I have been using it fairly consistently, and when I do start using it, I tend not to change out of it for a while because of how functional it is. So very happy with this. I think it's lovely, and yeah, if you're looking at a Deville tote, would recommend as well. And now for my Mrs. category, and for the first time ever, I don't actually have items I own included in this category, which I'm very happy about, and I'm sure it won't last. But the two misses I have are items that I ordered and then I sent back because I knew pretty instantly that they weren't going to be practical for me, and even though I objectively like the look of them, they just weren't going to be a long-term win in terms of purchases for me. So the first one is the Bottega Veneta pouch. I did end up ordering this, and I have mentioned it in a few different videos as something I was interested in getting. I ordered it in white. I was very excited to get it. I got the larger version, And as soon as I opened it, I just knew like it was not something I could pull off. And I wish I'd taken a photo of it when I had it. But yeah, I tried it with a few different outfits. Didn't really look that great with anything that I was wearing. It was a bit awkward for me to carry. And even though it was very roomy, so you know, that's good, it just wasn't something that I thought I would use. So I can still see what the hype is about because the leather was beautiful and it seemed very luxurious and well made. So, you know, if you think that it will be right for your lifestyle, then I'm not saying anything bad about the quality at all, but certainly in terms of the way I dress and kind of my daily needs, I just knew that this was going to be one that I wouldn't reach for a lot. So sadly it went back, but they are very, very expensive. So I'm happy to have saved the £2,000. And then the second item that I got was the Valentino, and I'm not sure of the official model name, but it's their kind of spike smaller bag, kind of spiky beast part 2 if you watch my video with Dan. But I've been hooked on Valentino bags since I had my kind of 2 successes, so my smaller wristlet and also the tote bag I got from them. I love those bags so, so much. So I was looking at some of their other styles and I stumbled across this one, which I thought was so lovely. I got it and it does look really nice. It's a beautiful bag. They do this in a few different sizes, but I went for the smaller one. I got it in the blue color, studs all over, really kind of impactful, and it definitely makes a statement despite its small size. But I just didn't find it to be very practical in terms of how you can wear it. And they do give you a chain, but you have to link the chain up in a way that you still have the kind of top handle flopping over the front, which I did see in the modeling photos, but I just kind of assumed you could adjust it a different way, and you can't. And I'm not sure why they did it like that. It would have made more sense to me that you could link it up so that the leather part was on your shoulder, so it had a bit of padding, but they didn't do that, and the chain does dig in a bit. It is a very nice, very heavyweight chain, but it did dig. It was also very, very long, and I couldn't find a way to shorten it. And keep in mind, I'm not particularly short, so if it was long on me, I imagine it will be very, very long on petite ladies. And yeah, it just didn't seem to be that well thought out in terms of its design. It didn't fit that much either, and especially when I compared it to my wristlet as well, which very dinky in size, but you can actually fit a lot in there. I was just a bit overwhelmed, and this was quite a pricey one. I think it was $1,400. So even though I thought the look of it was really nice, I just didn't think this was practical at all in terms of just the way I could wear it, and yeah, it just didn't seem to work. So sadly, that one went back as well. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave links to everything I featured down below in the description section, as well as those sale details as well. If you have any questions for me, then leave me a comment down below. If you like these recent purchases updates videos, please do give this a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.